Hey, I'm golf broadcaster Matt Adams. The updated and expanded second edition of my book, The Golf Round I'll Never Forget, Golf's Biggest Stars Recall Their Finest Moments, is now available. Readers can expect to march with Arnie's Army at the 1960 U.S. Open, relive Jack Nicklaus's remarkable 1986 Masters win, and be amazed by the Tiger Slam. The Golf Round I'll Never Forget, Golf's Biggest Stars Recall Their Finest Moments. Pick it up where fine books sold, including BarnesandNoble.com and Amazon.com.
Thrive Suite Productions. And welcome back to This Day in Sports History. It's January 21st, and on this day, a couple of tennis firsts for you. In 1990, John McEnroe became the first tennis player to be kicked out of the Australian Open for misconduct. McEnroe was always a firebrand ever since breaking in as a pro in the late 1970s. Love him or hate him, he was always entertaining to watch. A great serve and volley player that won him 7 majors between 1979 and 1984. But, his acerbic nature could be tough to handle for courtside linesmen and chair umpires. Well, on this day, McEnroe was in a 4th-round match with Sweden's Michael Pernfors. During a changeover in the 3rd set, McEnroe was upset at a lineswoman who he thought made a poor call. He stopped in front of her, stared her down without speaking, and juggled 2 tennis balls on his racket. The chair ump called the first code violation, this one for unsportsmanlike conduct. In the 7th game of the 4th set, McEnroe missed a shot wide and was mad at himself, throwing the racket to the hard court surface in disgust. After another poor shot, McEnroe threw his racket again. The chair umpire called the 2nd code violation, this one for racket abuse. At that point, McEnroe started yelling at chair umpire Jerry Armstrong, demanding the chair supervisor come out. Once he did, McEnroe dropped a word or two that he shouldn't have, and the 3rd code violation was called. But what McEnroe did not remember is that the 4-step default process had been changed to a 3-step default process, or 3 code violations and you're out. Up 2-1 but down 2-4 in the 4th, McEnroe was disqualified and fined $6,500. Also, in 1998, Venus and Serena Williams played against each other as professionals for the first time in the 2nd round of the Australian Open. Venus won in straight sets. They would go on to meet another 30 times in their careers, with Serena getting the better of her older sister, winning 19 of them. And in 2019, a small plane carrying soccer player Emiliano Sala went down in the English Channel, killing him and the pilot David Ibbotson. Sala had recently signed a $19 million transfer to play for Cardiff City in Wales from Nantes in France. Both Ibbotson and Sala expressed concerns about the plane and its ability to fly before boarding and taking off. That's all for today. More tomorrow on This Day in Sports History.
Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, a.k.a. the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.